You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and we are live today with XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. In the world of XCOM 2, it is April 19th, 2035 at 6:33 a.m. And stomping through the halls of the Avenger is our new girl-powered Spark. This is our last live stream of XCOM 2 for Total Noobs. And it's been a very good series, and I hope that you have been enjoying it, because I've been enjoying it immensely. So we're going to go into the armory, and I'm going to show you a few more things, and we're doing the black site today. And I'm going to actually be adding some ability points to our soldiers using the console. The reason I'm going to do this is because I want to give our soldiers some higher level, a few more abilities, so that I can show you a little bit better how things blend together when you're out on the field. Because we've been doing this in the live stream, and we're only just in the beginning of the campaign. It would be a lot of time until we got to the higher level things. So I'm going to use that ability. I'm going to add those ability points to the console so that we can get some higher level things. But first of all, we're going to head over here to the armory, where we have just met our newest soldier. And actually, it's the same soldier we've had before, with yet another gender change on the female Avenger. And let me pull my chat back up here. There we go. So over here under View Soldiers, you may notice that our Nova has a different name. I'd like you to meet Matilda Knockout. Thank you so much, Renee. Because we're doing an all-female run in the last playthrough, in the last session, I was like, you know, it'd be really cool if we could get some, you know, get a female Spark and use a female voice. And Sista was kind enough to point me to a female voice, unfortunately, even though I did install it. And it does say it works for Sparks. It, for some reason, is not showing up in our Sparks customized list. So our Spark is going to have a male voice. However, we're going to do our best to combat that by making her glorious pink. So this is Matilda Knockout. And the reason we call her Matilda Knockout is that there's MK here. Matilda K Knockout. MK1. All right. So, and I might do a thing where when I'm playing privately, I'll have like an all Spark thing, all females with different M names, and all being the Knockout Squad. And we've also, oh, and her gun, by the way, let's color up her gun. We're going to put hearts on it. So, let's see, loadout. Heavy cannon. Yeah, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to do it over here. You can do it under customize, I believe. Oh, here, customize. Weapon pattern. Let's go for hearts. And then weapon color, definitely going to go for the pink too. Let's do something. Oh, that's nice. I like, nope, that's the one right there. Right there, look at that. Because Matilda loves you. And she cares. And she'll tell you that right before right before she knocks your butt on the ground. But she'll do it in a really classy way. And you'll have to imagine this, because unfortunately we can't, I don't, if you guys can find a mod that will allow me to put lipstick and nails on her, then please give it to me, and I will put it in during break. In any case, so yeah, this is Matilda, our newest soldier, and no one claimed her, so I have claimed her for myself. And everyone else has a soldier, so I get Matilda. That's one. That's funny. Awesome. Yay. So what we're going to do at this point, though, is we're going to talk about some of the ways that you can customize your soldiers using PCs, is what they're called, personal combat sims. So we've picked up one personal combat sim so far. And these are picked up through loot on missions. You can buy them at the black market is what I'm thinking about. But we put over here, if you have a personal combat sim, it will show up here and available to put on. We've put it on, and when you want to see what it is, you go over here to PCS Superior Conditioning. It'll show you that this particular soldier and what it does. It gives her 3 health points. This is very important for Matilda because she is our tank. We need her to be able to take hits and you know, get up and punch back. So so yeah. Yep. And also, just let's see, under weapon patterns, by the way, weapon patterns are something that you can download and add. There are lots of different patterns. The hearts are from the base game though, so those are available to everyone. But Renee is just completely happy here that you can put hearts on things. So let's actually put some armor patterns on our Spark here. We could put hearts on her as well, but I think that's a little busy. So let's just see if we can find something that looks, I want something that, those hearts are so cute, but I'm thinking, oh, that means I'm gonna silly girls. She's like, oh my God. This is the freaking best thing ever. So I might go with happy, but let's change her background here to another pink. We want to stay with the pinks. Do I have any more pinks? I don't. I don't. So I am actually going to remove this armor pattern because I want her to be primarily pink. So we'll go with that. And Sister's asking me if Matilda is customizable with her head and body. Yes, she is. It will give you some different types of arms, just 1 or 2. I prefer this look, but it gives you also a padded Spark. But yeah, there's nothing more feminine. It's just padded or not. There may be mods which allow you to change your Spark out. I've never looked for any. But if you guys, that's why I asked if you guys happen to go over to Steam and find a mod that will allow me to make her look more feminine, then yeah, but not in the base game. So that will tell you a little bit about the personal combat sims. There are numerous types. There are types that give you extra speed. There are types that give you extra will. There are types, I'm trying to remember all of them. I think those are the 3 that I can remember, but there are more. They're also such a thing as weapon upgrades. Now, we've talked about this before. We have upgraded some of our weapons with some weapon upgrades. Let's see here. I think we have, I'm trying to remember who might have something. I believe our sharpshooter. Over here in weapon upgrade under sniper rifle, no, I'm not seeing it, but over here we can give her under loadout. So if you'll recall, as a refresher, I advised that when you add a mod to a weapon, this one has an advanced scope, that you name the weapon to help you remember when you're loading out your soldiers. When you have 6 soldiers and you're trying to remember what weapons, it's a great tip to name them. You can do that over here under weapon upgrade. Click on the weapon and you can change the weapon name, the color, and the pattern. You can put hearts and various other things on there. And like I'd said, you can download patterns as well. So personal combat sims and weapon upgrades. Now, I had mentioned that I was going to recommend to you or give you a list of suggested upgrades for soldiers. In other words, what upgrade goes with what type of soldier. For example, a scope. Scopes work well on sharpshooters because sharpshooters really need to have their aim as high as possible. Your urge might be to put your scope on any soldier that has a low aim, for example, a grenadier. But grenadiers' functions are less towards shooting and more towards blowing things up. When you're blowing things up, you don't really need a lot of aim. So it's best to not really waste a scope on a grenadier unless you have some other plan or some way you're doing something to try and work that soldier in a particular way. Otherwise, it's best to go on your snipers. You might also consider putting it on a ranger. However, the ranger uses a shotgun. The different weapon types, as I've spoken to you before, tell you about, they use different range tables is what they're called. Basically, shotguns are meant for up close and personal shooting. The closer you are, the better your chance to hit, obviously, with a shotgun, but still also the better your chance to crit. So shotguns are really more for critting. They're for getting that extra damage that takes it over the top by giving you a critical hit. So that's why I recommend that. I'm going to put in a link in the chat now, and I'm also going to put it in the description box later on. I'll do it over break. So for those of you watching on YouTube, just check in the subscription box. And I have found a very helpful Reddit post which will tell you the best way to lay out your gun mods, what guns to put them on, what soldiers work best, what soldier classes work best with them. Let me go here and find that link, which I saved. Here it is. And I'm going to put it into chat. And sister, I'm having that problem that you have where I have to like click in where all the text is like twice. It's very frustrating. I don't know why it is. Okay, so that link to the Reddit post will give you some good information and kind of an idea, because that's one of the things that I found to be very confusing. I was like, I have a scope. What do I do with it? Like, who do I put? Like, who needs it? So I just kind of guess, you know, basically XCOM, guessing, the guessing game. So I want to take as much of that guessing out for you as possible. I think that's what I wanted to show you as far as personal combat sims and weapon mods. At this point, we're going to move on to giving soldiers some abilities. Now, this is cheating, outright cheating. The reason why I'm doing it is to give the soldiers more abilities, to show you some of the higher level abilities, since we're doing this as training. If you did this in game, you'd just be cheating, which you can do if you want to, but it would take the fun out of it. So to do that, I'm just going to move out here to the main screen. And we will zoom into, for example, the training center. I love zooming into the Avenger, seeing what people are doing. And sometimes, don't see it here, but sometimes like you'll see posters on different parts of the Avenger that feature your soldier. Let's also see what's happening in the bar, by the way. Let's see if resistance radio will turn on. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I love resistance radio. Nobody's drinking today, but you see here, right back here, the poster. That's what I was talking about. That is Renee's soldier back there, actually, Renee, and Morgwin's soldier back there. So, let me zoom out again, and we'll go to the training center. And I'm just doing this so that I can take a moment while you guys observe everybody in training here to go and look up how to do this on Reddit. I'll be right back. You guys enjoy yourselves here while I quickly look up ability points, what the syntax is for it. There we go. Okay. Okay, so it looks like the way to do this is I'm going to press, now the way I did that is I pressed the tilde key right next to the numeral 1 on your keypad, and I'm going to type in give resource. You can see here that as you type things in, it will give you an idea as to what it is, and then I'm going to tab out for a minute. That is give resource ability point. Because I chose to build the training center first, how many points? I'll just start with 100, I guess. I'll give more if I need them. Because I don't want to give too much. Hello, Angie. So let's go over here into the armory. And now that we have some ability points, we should be able to spread them among our soldiers. I think actually the best way to do this is to head over to the, because we do have a mission all set up. We have a guerrilla ops that we're going to do first. So let's actually add some abilities to the soldiers that are going to be going on that. We had chosen to do the Eastern US one because it will counter this dark event. And one thing that I wanted to mention to you about the dark events is that these dark events, for example, if this dark event comes to fruition, Advent is able to complete it within the next week, they are not permanent. I want to clarify that to you. They last for about a month. So there is a way to make them permanent in the advanced options when you're setting up a new campaign, but as a beginner, I do not recommend that you do that. So don't feel panicked if you have, because one of these events are going to come, one or more of them are going to come to fruition. They're going to have them happen. So you want to try to negate the worst ones so that the least worst ones are the ones that are in play. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we are going here to this guerrilla ops. We're going to the Eastern US. Also, some of you have been playing XCOM. If you have run into problems, please let me know in chat and I will. Hey, Mr. Jessa. Are you in your jams, boo-boo? So anyway, let's go on in and add in some soldier AP for different things. Now, we won't be able to add AP for things we haven't unlocked yet, but I can add a couple of things here. For example, you already have everything, but I'll give you adaptive aim just in case, or just because it will give you, because we're going to learn about passive and active abilities when we're on the mission. Over here, Mox could use some things here. We're going to give him Wraith, very important. Oh, actually, do I already have that? No, that I always forget the little green checkpoint means you have it. There we go. So we have a lot of XP. We don't really need it anymore, but whatever. And so I'm going to give him this, and I'm also going to give him Volatile Mix. We're going to make our soldiers kind of overpowered, but it's for the point of learning. Over here, Nerd Sister's going to get some great stuff. We're going to get Haywire Protocol, Volatile Mix. Don't know if we need that. Run and Gun will be very helpful, so we'll definitely take that. And Medical Protocol. Properly pajama'd. And then Adana is a squaddie. She doesn't have any points yet. Hopefully with her next level up, those will become available to her. By the way, Adana's soldier is the only one with boy bits. Nobody, like, we don't look in the shower or anything, trust me, but he still has his boy bits, but he's getting it worked on, don't worry. And then over here, we're going to go with blast padding as well, too, for Angie Lady's character. And implacable. So we've made our soldiers somewhat overpowered, however, it's for a good cause. We're going to head on out now, and one more tip. This is part of a mod called Squad Select. I highly recommend it for you. It has become indispensable to me. It allows you to see things that you cannot normally see with the XCOM 2, with the base game, you know, with the normal squad selection screen. For example, it will allow you to see that our Spark now has a PCS combat sim, an extra little area here, and these are still open, available. Okay. Also want to make sure that I've given everybody the upgraded rifles. Yep. You've got, oh, by the way, speaking of upgrades, let's go over and build some items before we go, just to make sure we have all upgraded. So let's see, armor. Let's go for uploading, doing those, just getting them out of the way. And then also, it is a pajama party. Pajamas. All of our live streams are pajama parties. Let's go for this. I'm just trying to show you a couple things. So let's go for getting the smoke grenade. Oh, I already had one of those. Look at that. I didn't mean to build two of them, but oh well. And let's give the smoke grenade to Mox. We'll give the let's do a unequipped barracks to get our things back here. We'll give the med kit to our specialist. As always, we'll carry the med kit. And then let's give you a flashbang grenade. That's pretty Moxie baby. Exactly, Malchick. And I feel though that I'm missing a weapon here. Ah, here we go. Superior mag. And we don't have any specialists on this one, and that's the only other. Did I get an upgraded shard gun? Let's see here. I did not. Okay. So what it's doing here, by the way, just to show you, is when I'm clicking here on the weapon, it's showing me all of the different weapon types available. Also, as you can see, over here, it gives you more information on them. This is basically an upgraded version of Mox's weapon. So we don't want to give him the 7, we want to give him the 15. I think that's it. Our sniper is the other one that has a weapon mod on it, and we don't have any snipers on this one. Oh, and one more thing, our gremlins. Sister needs to bring her gremlin out, Frogger. I think that's it. All right, team, let's do this. Oh, did I give her? No, I gave her a rifle. That's a rifle. And a shard gun. Yep. I have that correct, I think. Pretty sure. So let's go ahead and, oh, by the way, remember as always to go out, right click, save game, and click squad. Did I say something different? Did I say she was something different, Malcheck? Probably. Entirely likely. Let's do this. We're going to hack the hidden resistance computer. Girl power. Go team go. XCOM.
Sky Ranger in position to drop.
I love this game. By the way, I'm going to call you out, Renee, on this one, because Renee said something cool in Discord. She said that XCOM was not a game that she would normally consider playing because a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you are like me in that you are not really gamers. You're more role players and storytellers that started out with The Sims and kind of moved on maybe to a few other games, that kind of stuff. But I love that the live streams are giving some of you guys ideas about new games that you can be playing. that you wouldn't have known had such roleplay and
From a
storytelling
resistance hacker
potential.
operating out of this area. Apparently he gained access to the Advent network nearby right before alien reinforcements hit. It sounds like he may have had a lead on data critical to the latest alien operation, but we'll have to move quickly if we're going to recover it. Secure the area and hack in before Advent shuts down the connection. We need to seize control of that data if we're going to have any chance of stopping their progress.
Girls' night out. Rena said, my PJs say girls' night out, which turns out to be oddly appropriate. That's awesome, Rena. So, Operation Tiger Pack, hacking the workstation. We're going to the tunnels under Chicago. Let's do this. Yep, that's Sister saying that she...
This is Avenger. The access point we're after is just ahead. Move to secure the area. Expect hostile resistance.
So, and that's, I think, there's so many things I love about producing content and live streaming and my channel and everything. But I think helping people see what is, I'm going to move this over here, what is available in the game world that you wouldn't have known about is, and it's up there, definitely, as to what I enjoy. So the tunnels, if you do not have War of the Chosen, the tunnels are a new map that comes with War of the Chosen. And I believe, I could be incorrect on this, but I believe that the Steam sale is still on. I think today might be the last day. So if you're still interested in grabbing XCOM, I think it's pretty cheap right now. So let me know about that. At this point, we're going to bring Mox forward because he is our lead soldier up here. He is our squad leader. The way I like to play is the squad leader is generally our reconnaissance unit. Even though we don't really have... Well, let me take that back. Adeluna is a ranger, I think. Let's see here. I'm having a momentary... That's a grenadier. That's our specialist. That's our spark. And I think that's a ranger. Yeah, there's the sword. I had a momentary... This is, by the way, these little images down here, as you can see, still don't 100% remember what they are and what they do. So before we move Mox, I want to talk about abilities. I want to talk about passive abilities and active abilities. Down here, as you can see, as you move along in the story, your soldiers will gain more abilities. This is one of the reasons why I gave us more ability points. And there are abilities that are passive or that activate after some action is taken. And there are abilities that you have to activate and use. The passive abilities are down here. If you hover over them, I'm going to move my chat up a little bit. If you hover over them, they will tell you what they do. And they can really turn the tide of battle. So it's important when you start out, especially as you're learning, to just take a look at what these abilities are to refresh your memory. Because, for example, zero in on Mox. Subsequent shots on the same turn provide +10 critical chance. If against the same target, they also provide +10 hit chance. So that's something to remember. If Mox is standing still and can take 2 shots in a row, will give him a +10 critical chance. It's a little thing to keep in mind, and when you get into higher difficulties and get farther along in the campaign, those things will really, those passive abilities will really matter. And sometimes if you forget that you have an ability and it triggers, it can put you off or surprise you or actually save your bacon. This is another one. When fired upon, gain 1 extra action on the next turn. So for example, I might put Mox up here where I know an enemy is likely to fire on him, for example, but then give him some extra protection. So it's a way of using Mox as a little mini tank, for example. So let's move Mox up here to get a little view on what's going on down these tunnels. We want to download, I love that they actually give names to the things that we need to download. We want to download the processing facilities schematic. Yeah, because that's what we want. We want to get in there and find out about those processing facilities. Time for a drink of broth. As always, to soothe the throat. Let me know how you're doing in chat. Because I'm just happily talking away here. Okay. So let's then go with Nova. Thank you, Malchek. Thank you for letting me know. No, Malchek said he's just finished his eggs. So we haven't got a time turner on this one. So let's move Nova just one up. Oh crap, that's not where I meant to move him. I hate misclicks, but we'll live with it. This one. You learn to live with them. Let's bring someone else here. We'll bring Vivian back here. We're just gonna all sort of stack up on this door here. We'll bring Sista up here.
Heading there now.
And we'll just put Emily back here.
Begebe mich zu dieser Position.
So I have told you that we have the bulwark over here on our spark. You can see the different things that he has. And the bulwark, this one isn't giving me a, come on, give me a, there we go, Shredder. Mechanical chassis, bulwark, here we go. So this is what allows our spark to give other people cover. However, there is a small disadvantage with that, and that the enemy loves to use area of effect attacks on our soldiers when they are grouped up. So we don't want to group a lot of soldiers up. For example, I like to keep my specialist and the spark close together. Or perhaps in this case, Mox and the spark, because they're teammates. They're bonded. So at this point, let's Overwatch all.
Attacking on
Moving to Overwatch. Verstanden. Halte die Augen offen.
And let's move Mox ahead and see if we can get some eyes on some enemies. If I stand here in front of this ladder with Mox, I'll block the ladder's access for everyone else, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to move Mox to here.
Moving there.
Remember, the concealment icon is up, and I just saw something over here. Oh, here we go. There's an Advent mech. It's playtime. We're going to get some mech on mech action. Matilda's just going to go up there and tear his butt up. Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for, you know, tearing the butt up. I'm going to put Matilda here. It is out of range. You can see we will not get discovered here. She'll tiptoe over quietly. Okay. I said she'd tiptoe over quietly. And I'm going to put my specialist as... actually, you know what? I keep wanting to put my specialist behind my spark, but they're not bonded in this playthrough.
Affirmative. Moving out.
We should be able to get some nice action on this. Unfortunately, this leaves Mox flanked, so we'll have to move him. I think we should... Who else do we have here? We have Vivian. I feel like I'm going to need some bombing action up here.
Bin unterwegs.
So Angie Lady's going to scoot ahead. And then we're going to bring Vivian up. That's going to give us some opportunities for... Put Vivian there. It's important to remember that just because you're in front of a fence, I'll show you with Mox, this area is not, it's not cover. It's not half cover. In order for cover to show up, it has to be here. It has to have the shield icon on it. So, we're going to bring Mox up here. That's going to leave 3 people who cannot do a, only 2 soldiers who can do an overwatch. But I don't anticipate, unless he walks right in here and stumbles in on us, I don't anticipate that we're going to get spotted on this turn. We are still in concealment.
Eyes on the prize.
And in fact, we have a Viper. I hate snakes. And the Advent mech is taken off. They're heading in that direction, which means we have to chase them. It's kind of a pain. Because these soldiers are not really in a good position over here across this sewer system. By the way, that's the worst smelling sewage ever. Oh, and I was going to say, you know, I forgot that Mox is male. I'm not changing Mox to a female. So at this point, we can chase them all around the map. These are all yellow moves, so it means that we're going to have to kind of move around. If I move too far in this direction, there's pretty likely to be someone over here. I know they went in this direction because, now here's a little thing I'm noticing. They moved in this direction, right? They're patrolling. This red signal notifies the end of the map. So that means they're pretty likely to come back. Yeah. Hello, Jason. Welcome. They're pretty likely to come back in this direction. I mean, they can't patrol any farther this way. So I'm thinking that we should bring Mox up, move him up a couple tiles, say to like here. Anticipating that they're going to move back, and we can then surprise them.
Heading to that location.
As it were. So, let me turn the camera around a little bit. That means I have to get the rest of my team into positions where they can do a little bit of damage. I'm going to double move Adana up here. I don't want everyone up there. It'll get a little crowded, and it's sometimes hard to get line of sight through this door. I'm wondering if it might be smarter to move people down a little bit in preparation for moving across this bridge in the next turn. So I think I might do that. Kind of scooting along the fence here. This is giving me some full cover, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to move Adana up. I'm splitting my team up a little bit, but they're not too far apart. Move Adana up here.
Time to motor.
Oh, you were here just a few sessions ago, maybe a week. It's not too bad. Can you ever accidentally take out another member of your team in this game? Asks Renee. You can. The game will warn you if you're going to accidentally hurt a team member. There are 2 ways that I can think of. One is if you are aiming something like an explosion on a team member, the game will warn you and they'll say friendly fire, which is great. The other way is if a team member is mind controlled and you have some sort of reaction to them. For example, let's say Angie lady here has Blade Storm. That's an ability which allows you to immediately use your sword and do a lot of damage on anything which comes into melee range. And then let's say that Mox has been mind controlled by a pesky sectoid. And he comes over here to try and take down Angie because he's mind controlled, and Angie Blade Storms him because it's an automatic thing that happens no matter what enemy, whether it's even a mind controlled person, goes down. Oh, and then there's one other time, and that is if you are doing a resistance mission and a soldier of yours is mind controlled. The resistance people will often kill your soldier, which sucks. They can't tell the difference between your soldier or an enemy. A mind controlled soldier of yours or an enemy. So, are you asking if you can have a soldier, Jason? Because we are almost done with this playthrough, so I'm not going to be adding any more soldiers. If you're asking if you can add soldiers to your game, yes, you can add soldiers. You can buy soldiers, as well as gain them from the black market and various other ways. Okay, so we're going to Overwatch all.
Watch order confirmed.
Got it covered. Augen auf.
Let's hope they come back in this direction, which I'm pretty sure they will.
You hear anything?
Well, I hope they will. They've got nowhere else to go, so they've pretty much got to. Or not. Fine. So, let's bring Mox around. This is kind of a slow start because these aliens are not making it easy on me. Let's bring Mox to here.
I go.
Because we need to get them on. This is where all the action is, so we need to get them on that side of the bridge. Let's bring Angie up next to him.
Bin unterwegs.
And let's do one more round of Overwatches before we go ahead and...
I will watch.
Oh, great, Jason. I'm glad.
Feuerschutz.
Jason's saying he bought the game.
We've got something over here.
So at this point, we're going to have to throw down. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty boring gameplay. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. Here comes Mr. Mexter. And I think it's time to greet him with some mech-on-mech action. I think that we could use a rocket launcher here to open up this wall so the rest of us could get a lot of shots. That might be our best option here. We do have a grenade as well, too. Let's go down a level here. This might be our best play. It's going to wake up. It's going to open up this wall. It's going to wake up this little mechy poo. And we should be able to, with just these two, kill them both. We really want to open up and get some line of sight. So, by the way, let's take a moment to talk about destructible and indestructible cover and line of sight. So these are advanced, well, intermediate skills that you'll want to learn about as you go on with the game. Line of sight is very important. It basically means that from where, for example, where Matilda Knockout is, and so she cannot see the Advent mech. Therefore, the Advent mech cannot see her, even if we were not concealed. Because we're concealed, they can't see us anyway. However, if we were not concealed, line of sight can sometimes save your soldiers' lives. In other words, if you are in a position where you won't be able to kill an enemy, and that enemy is going to be able to do some damage on you, it may be smarter, rather than trying to waste your long shots, low percentage shots, that kind of stuff on an enemy you may not be able to kill this turn, you may move your soldiers back, one or two of them or whoever, and remove them from line of sight. That means that the enemy knows you're out there and they've got to move in order to find you to shoot at you. They'll have two options. One, they can go into Overwatch and hope they sort of smoke you out, meaning that when you move, they'll get a hit on you. Or they'll have to move and try and find you to get a shot on you. So line of sight is important, and the enemies do take note on it. They do react to line of sight or lack thereof. Then the next thing is cover. Destructible cover and indestructible cover. With indestructible cover, it's exactly what it says. It's usually, you can tell the difference between indestructible cover and not because of you know, it's metal, it's large, and you kind of use your common sense, for example. However, sometimes it's hard to tell. So let's go back to Adana, our teal pigtailed Wonder Woman. And if we throw this grenade, the game is showing us the red, let's zoom in a bit here. The red blinky areas here, for what lack of a better word to call them, are telling you that these things will be destructed to some degree or another. Because this is metal, it's saying that you'll hit this, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be destructed. For example, with trees. Trees, if you hit them with a grenade, depending on the strength of the grenade, this is just a little frag grenade, doesn't do that much damage, it may only take down half the tree, leaving the enemy still in half cover or full cover, depending on how it works out. So in this point, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the camera so we can make sure that we are hitting our enemy. This means that the mech is going to take damage. The other thing to remember is when things are on a higher level, when you are at high level, second level or above, you'll get a height advantage. So Adana, for example, let's try and find somebody who might be able to see these. You can't. Adana can't. You can't. Unfortunately, no one can see this mech. But when you click on fire weapon, there's no targets right now. But when you click on fire weapon, over here it will say height advantage plus 20%, I believe is what it is. So that gives you a plus 20% to your chance to hit. That's great. So you think, perhaps I can put all my soldiers up on the roof and you'll be able to kill everything. It'd be great. However, there's a disadvantage, as there is, as always, in XCOM. There's an advantage and there's a disadvantage. In that, if the enemy sees you up there and they remove the floor, which is destructible cover or destructible material, you will fall. You will take damage from the fall as well as damage from whatever they hit you with, a shredder gun, a grenade, you know, blaster bomb, whatever. So you want to keep in mind not to group everybody together on the roof. Right now, we're grouped up. If this mech were to see us and we were to stay in this position, he would surely bomb us. So for now, it's fine because we're concealed. Let's go on, and now that I have explained, does everyone feel pretty comfortable with destructible and indestructible cover, line of sight, and destructible floors and height advantage? Those are 4 advanced concepts that I just explained to you. Let me know in chat if you are understanding. Let's go ahead and see how this works out. Let's twirl again, because this is a mistake that you can see people make. This, if you don't twirl and make sure that you actually have the mech, then you can get frustrated pretty quickly because you have not destroyed the target you're going for, or at least hit them. Okay, excellent. Let's throw this frag grenade and we will observe destructible damage, or destructible cover.
Boom!
And also it looks like, yeah, it looks like there was a snake hiding right there that we could not see because of line of sight and fog of war.
This is an extremely well-equipped mechanized combat unit. We'll need to look for vulnerabilities if we're going to take that thing out.
Okay, every time a new enemy is revealed, that we meet a new enemy, we've now met the mechs. Snaky sneak, sneaky snake. Yeah, what Renee said. Every time we meet a new enemy, one of either Bradford or engineering, Shen or Tygan will will kind of give us a little bit of a hint about what kind of mechanized units they are, what kind of unit they are. And so do not worry when you meet a new unit. It's no need to be afraid. Do not fear. So what we're going to do at this point is we could use Wrath to move us to the snake, to the Viper. And yeah, silly girl put a snake in there that looks like some sort of duck snake. Doesn't that look like it has a duck bill? But one of the things I want to show you about here is Justice and Wraith. We've just gotten Wraith for him. There are two opposing abilities. Wraith, Justice will pull an enemy towards you. Wraith will pull you towards an enemy. And first you might think, well, I don't know, with Wraith, like, I thought, like, okay, well, why would I want to move towards the enemy? Because if I miss, then... Renee said, quack hiss. Because if I move towards the enemy, then I'll A, could activate a pod, which is always likely. And B, if I miss, I'm like sitting out here with the enemy. But you want to begin, we want to, at this point, using our abilities, our passive and our active abilities, we want to get to the point where you're using your team as a well-oiled machine. Try not to think about XCOM from a soldier perspective. Try and think about it from a squad perspective. Meaning that you use one person's ability to set up a situation where another person can use their ability to set up a situation where another person can then take a shot and kill. It's very tempting to just think, how can I shoot this thing? But let's think with abilities and elegance in mind. What I mean is, when you become an elegant player, you play thinking ahead of what each person can do and how to get it to work as a cohesive unit, like a puzzle. So, what we have here is a Viper and a mech. This unit is organic. This unit is non-organic. We have a flashbang, which will only work on organic units. We also have a smoke grenade. We don't really need them right now. We can probably kill these two. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Wraith to move Mox to the Viper. He has a 100% chance to move to the mech, but he only has a 62% chance to move to the Viper. So if he misses, because I believe that we can take care of the mech, that's why I'm not, but we haven't only got 2 soldiers over here to take care of this Viper. That's why I'm going to choose to take this lower chance. The reason why it's telling me, and you can always see over here, it helps you to know what the percentages are calculated from. High cover is giving her a chance for him to not be able to hit this. Let's go ahead and Wraith.
Vengeance has come.
We're going to try and move him. Let's see if it worked. It did not.
I have failed.
That's too bad. That's too bad. And that's a little bit of a problem. So, we can... I'm checking for opportunities to grapple. I don't really see anything. So we might have to use a teamwork at this point. Let's see what Angie can do first. Angie's got a grenade and she's got a flashbang grenade. I'm going to move her to full cover. Oh, good. That scared the heck out of me. I thought she saw an enemy.
Commander, we have confirmation of the exposed access point.
All right, so we have seen the access point. This is what we need to be hacking. That means that there's very likely to be enemies right behind it. As I told you, there are usually 3 to 4 pods depending on the difficulty you're playing on. And excuse me. Burp. So there's usually 3 pods, so it's really important to kind of keep in mind that there's 2 more pods out there. And Angie would be exposed here. So we could be in a little bit of trouble if a pod walks right out on her. But I think we've got enough power to take care of things here. Angie's got a flashbang grenade. So flashbang grenades, when you want to know what something does, click on it and read this below. This over here tells you that it will end your turn. Also, this mod that I have included, that my mod list is in the description as always. Well, it tells me that it's a yellow move. Basically, it means it'll end the turn. Yellow ends the turn. Blue does not end the turn. Green is a free action. This is a recap from the last time. So this will do nothing for a mech. Mechs can't be flashbanged. As far as I know, they can't be. I'm not sure about that. So let's flashbang them and see what happens. When they're flashbanged, they can't use many of their abilities. It's like they've been blinded, basically. So let's just go ahead and flashbang, because I hope we can take care of everything in one turn. And I want to show you, if I don't show you some of these things, then, you know. Okay, it doesn't work on the mech. That's what I pretty much thought it wouldn't. So, what we're going to have to do now that the Viper is disoriented, that means that she will not be able to use some of her abilities. Remember that if you want to know what their abilities are, click on the enemy, click F1, and you'll get an ability screen. This is due to a mod called Yet Another F1. So make sure and grab that mod to get all of this information. Without it, I believe you still get a screen, but it's much less information. So she's got, she can fire her weapon, she can bind and crush, poison, spit, tongue pull. These things she can't do while disoriented. And you can see here what her penalties. Many abilities are restricted. So with him, he's got a 68% chance or 49% chance. They're not very good. And he's in half cover. I really need to get him out of that half cover. So I'm going to move him here.
I move.
Now, that means that he can no longer take another action. I've yellow moved him. Now we begin to see the power of the teamwork, of bonds. He's bonded to Spark, so Spark can give him another action. The Spark gives Mox another action. Mox can now get 100% on this disoriented Viper.
Recoverable asset in range.
I closed my eyes. Yay! We got an Elerium core. Wonderful. So we got some loot. So I closed my eyes because I hate the stakes. I hate them, and I hate the way their bodies flop. Ugh. But the disadvantage is that this teammate only has 1 action left. However, we could overdrive him, but I'm pretty sure we can get rid of this mech. So let's save that for when we really need it. I'm going to move ahead. That's a risk because there could be enemies over here, but what are you going to do? I mean, we have to kill them. So we could use the rocket launcher, but I want to save that. So we're going to use Strike. Strike is a great thing. It allows you to walk up and totally decimate somebody by basically punching them. And I like it because I love to have Matilda punch things. She is Matilda Knockout after all.
Threat eliminated.
Yes. Yes, it is. All right. So that deals with the first pod. Those 2 are down. And the flashbang was helpful. I just wanted you to see it. However, it was also helpful because if he had missed, then she would have had to move to better cover because she was flanked, you know, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, so we have actually knocked out our first person. Exactly, Rena. Knockout, because that's what she does. And I love that strike ability. So at this point, now we're going to just bring other people up, not any farther than we already have. I'm going to bring Adaluna up here.
Finally.
and we get cover from our spark here. And then I'm going to bring up... Oh, nope, she's the only one left. So we're just going to overwatch her. And see what else we need to do here.
Fire getting close here!
Uh-oh. Fire. Okay, problem. So we now have 7 turns until the network shut down. Because we were concealed and we just found the objective, we now have this timer. So we need to get moving. We're in kind of a far area from here, with Angie being the only one who's in a good position. So let's move Mox. We want to move here. Hopefully I want to activate an enemy pod because we want to get rid of them. And there's not a lot of cover. The tunnels are kind of a pain in that way because, here's some full cover here. Because they don't have a lot of good cover when you have to cross this area. But, yeah.
As you command.
So, yeah, no enemies. So let's move everyone else. We'll go over here and we will... I'm going to double move people since we haven't got any enemies on the... Actually, you know what? I lie. I'm not going to double move people.
Advancing.
Because if a pod runs into us, we really want to have an Overwatch to respond with. So we're going to move Adaluna.
Tired of waiting around.
And Adana, who's all the way back here, I'm going to move to here.
Rolling out.
Double move. To this half cover right here. Adana still has a guy's voice. But I'm going to leave it. And then Angie, I'd like to get into some more protected cover. But I don't want to move here or here because if there's an enemy right here, we'll wake them up and we've taken all of our moves. However, it's not too likely that there's someone... Or, you know, I might just move back. I am worried about this. You want to really be careful with revealing the pods on your terms, not on theirs.
Kein Problem.
And so because Mox has, you know, you want to think about the X-axis and the Y-axis. Mox has not moved any further forward. So, Aw, yay! Hi, Rena's husband. That's awesome. I love it when the husbands are watching and they say something in the background. Okay, so that's everybody.
Watch order confirmed.
Engaging Overwatch.
Covering now. Überwachung läuft.
This is quiet, very quiet. So what we want to do at this point is we want to get Adaluna to where she can see because she can hack from a distance. You don't have to get right up to the to this to hack it. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you can hack from a distance. So I'm going to move Adaluna in this direction.
Here I come.
Might give us eyes on it. It does. And so we can hack the workstation from here. Her gremlin moving towards it might wake something up, but we are prepared to deal with that.
Infiltrating access point.
He says hi. So cute. So missions in which you have to hack the hacking is always guaranteed. And they're a good way to raise your tech score. Adaluna's tech score is pretty low. We're going to be doing our darndest to rate. Well, we would be if we were continuing with the campaign. And so it really doesn't matter, you know, either. It's just basically a chance of either one. We'll go for this one because whatever it is we're researching, we could certainly use it. Come on! Woo! Yay! Awesome. That was wonderful. So many times the hacks fail and it's just so depressing. There's also a mod that I have in called Hack Plus.
Hacking in. Got it.
Frogger's got it.
Their
Uh-oh.
reinforcements have come.
Uh-oh.
-15. Confirm successful acquisition of the Advent data. Be aware. Hostile forces are inbound on your position. Eliminate local opposition and any reinforcing troops.
Okay, so this is a problem. Now, Nerd Sister, I do have a mod in which you couldn't see, but it's called Hack Plus, I believe, and it basically gives you in the game. Specialists come with the base game; they're not War of the Chosen. Specialists are really a difficult class to level up their hacking skills. You can gain hacking skills now with War of the Chosen. You can gain them as resistance missions. You can't really buy hacking points from the black market, so it's very limited as to where you can buy them. Hack Plus, I believe, makes it more fair in that every time you hack something, you get a couple of hack points, just because you learned a little something. So you can configure it to your liking. All right, so reinforcements are coming, and we've got kind of a not the best setup here, honestly. Angie's here. What we want to do is to get where we'll have line of sight, and this wall is kind of a problem. So we may not have line of sight on whatever drops on us. Not to mention we have 2 other pods out there. Let's go for here. She'll be able to move later.
Geht klar.
Now the problem is I really don't want to, like I said, I don't want to wake up another pod. Then we'll really have problems. I'm going to bring Mox to peek just... No, actually, I'm not. I'm going to bring him... Nope, I know XCOM well enough to know that'll wake up a pod. If there's one back there, that'll do it. So I'm going to go here so he can get some line of sight. That's kind of an easily flankable position if they come around this end. But they're going to drop. We're going to get all our chances to overwatch. And then they'll come around. He'll have an opportunity to move. All right. And then let's get Nova in here, Matilda in here. And let's get Adana in here, who hasn't had a chance to do a lot in this turn. Adana's movement points are very low. So that always makes us a little... Oh, she can stand right here behind our Spark.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. I think we've overwatched everyone. And once again, over here, the squad screen here tells me, this is a mod, tells me that everybody's moved 1 turn. Very helpful.
Mir entgeht nichts.
All right, here comes, oh, another mech and an Advent trooper and 2 troopers and a mech.
I must focus my strength.
I think.
Only the best.
Oh, right in the butt. Look at that, right in the butt. Ooh, yeah, okay. So a lot of damage was done. He's taken some high ground here. And we have the cavalry. The cavalry's all here. Yep, things just got pretty. They're pissed that we took their processing schematic. They're mad about that. All right. So, I love that thing that the mechs do where they point at you. All right. So, we have excuse me. We have a trooper that's got some damage on him. Oh, we've got a sectoid. We really need to take care of that sectoid. They can mind control. We've got these mechs. So, once again, we want to think as a team. Mox can pull people out of cover with his justice, for example. And remember his passive abilities as well too. For example, if he takes 2 shots at something right here, he'll get a +10 critical chance. That means though that he can't move because he can only take 2 moves. So let's just take a look here. Let's scroll out. We have a sectoid hiding back here, 2 mechs. Things are grouped up in such a way that we I'm also thinking about height. So this is a free action. Mox comes with grapple. So I'm thinking that we should grapple up top. It will give us, grapple means that he can move, grapple and still have 2 moves. That means he can grapple and then hit something twice to get that 0 in. However, wherever we grapple him to, he'd better have some really good, and you know, it keeps telling me that I'm going to wake up a pod if I move. So it may be that there's another pod that I could wake up, or maybe this pod isn't completely activated yet. I think that might be it. In any case, if we grapple, we can grapple to here, to here. This would give us some half cover. One of the things I don't like about grapple, and there might be a mod that takes care of this, is that it doesn't give you target preview. So what you have to do is do this to see that. Up here, I will be able to see this mech and this trooper. These 2 icons at the bottom here show you a mech and a trooper. If you're curious about which mech it is, remember the little reticule, this little thing my mouse is pointing at right here? That shows you which targets you'll be able to see exactly. So from here, we'll be able to see this mech, and we could take this mech down with 2 hits. He'll have some half cover, but we should be able to take care of most other things. Should, hopefully. So let's grapple up here. I'm going to grapple to this spot. Wait, one more thing. I see a couple other spots here that look really good. You can grapple a fairly long way. I could grapple as far as here. And that might be very enticing, because I might want to do something like say, okay, I can see this mech is flanked from here, and if I move here, this advanced trooper is flanked, so I might end up moving here. But there's always a disadvantage, because over here is fog of war, and I can reveal from there. My husband told me he was watching, and he said, you know, you have done a really good job. Now, unfortunately, there's no cover here, so I'd have to move. So these spots are not as enticing. I was hoping I'd be able to move there. Hello, Benny. How are you? We're playing XCOM, and we have a all-girl squad, and Matilda, our Spark, is got a heart all over her gun, and she has a glitter gun. So if you look at these spots here, you can see that they don't have any cover. This is at the top of, so they're not actually very good. So it looks like it's better, in order to be able to take 2 shots, it's better to move here where there's some cover and be able to take shots.
I take a new approach.
Benny, I always love it when you show up in live streams. So now we can go for this mech. We have 100% on him, so we should be able to take him down. Now let's recover one important point. I want you to remember armor. These 2 pips here mean that these 2 points of armor will be absorbed. Let's show you. I can hit him for 5 to 6 damage. You can see here that it's only showing me 4. It's saying that that's what I'm likely to hit for. Will be 3 to 4. It's not certain. That's because 2 armor will take out. If you hit for 5, minus 2 equals 3. That's how it works. Armor will eat up 2, or how many ever armor there is, of your damage. Okay? So at this point, this is with the team working together, it may be wiser to get our Grenadier in here so that she can do some shredding before we actually deal with the armor. So if I move her to say, where is she? Let's move Angie Lady. So if I move Angie Lady to here, for example, I can shred the mech's armor first. How do I know it shreds? Right there. You'll learn this just by doing it. But shredding armor, right here, is something that you want to do first before you actually try and shoot. In the order of things, you generally want to remove cover, then shred, then shoot. So if you have a big old enemy and they're behind some cover and you shoot them first, a lot of your damage will be eaten up by the armor, or you'll miss because of the cover. If you remove their cover so they're sitting out there butt naked, then you shred their armor so that it won't eat all your damage, and then your last guy shoots, you win. And generally, you'll take him down, or at least do a ton of damage to him. And you'll force the enemy to have to use up their turn, half of their turn at least, moving to cover, because they're not going to stay out in the open. So, is that well explained for all of you? Please let me know how I'm doing. Let me know in chat, because it helps me to know if I need to explain less, explain more, that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to move Angie to full cover here. I'm moving her back a little bit because I feel fairly sure that her frag grenade can hit this guy, as it can. Unfortunately, it can only hit one guy. That kind of sucks. It would be nice to be able to hit two, like this guy back here. But this is the more immediate threat. Oh, cancel. See, so you can see what just happened there? Where it said it would cause friendly fire. Excellent. So, what it's talking about with friendly fire is it's talking about this right here, this exposed access point. It's saying that the objective will be destroyed. However, we have already downloaded the processing schematic right here. We've completed that, so we don't need this objective. So you can ignore that friendly fire warning in this case. So I'm going to do that. It will warn us.
Mach dich bereit für eine Überraschung.
Yeah, what she said. So it only shredded one of the armor, but it's better than nothing. So now let's have Mox go in and do his 100%. Mox has got a smoke grenade. Okay.
Their armor still holds.
And, oh crap, he has to reload. That sucks. That's a problem. So actually, I may not have him do that last little bit there. I'm going to save him because he needs to reload. And that will waste a turn. And it means he won't be able to use this smoke grenade or use Justice. So I'm going to actually have him skip on that reload for now. That means that we have our favorite person, Mr. Or Mrs. Ms., I should say. Matilda's a modern woman. Now we have our Spark. Our Spark needs to do some damage. We have a rocket launcher. A fantastic thing. As you can see, it can do a ton of damage. There's a sectoid back here that we may be able to hit. It's important to remember. So I'm kind of shooting blind because I know there's a sectoid right there. I saw him. And the other way that I can tell that there's a sectoid right here is that, as you can see, I can move to this square, this square, this square, this square, but I can't move to that square. So that's how you know that there's a sectoid. Yeah, exactly, Rena. You're exactly right. We can take out the Stun Lancer and the sectoid, or at least cause them some great damage. So I'm going to move to... I'm thinking I might want to move to a place that would provide cover for my own team as well, too, to have a better chance at a shot. So I'm thinking maybe right here. He'll still have plenty of range. The rocket launcher has a lot of range.
Servos engaged.
So I'm going to move him here. And I'm going to use the rocket launcher. And I'm going to go like, I hope I didn't screw up. Oh, I hope I didn't screw up. Oh, I think I screwed up. That's a problem. I thought I could kind of shoot over, but it looks like I can't. That's a problem. So, plan B. Plan B is to blow the heck up out of whatever's over here, if I can. Oh, I moved him in a stupid position. Well, not stupid, but just not helpful. Well, I have made a mistake. So, because I've made that mistake, I'm going to have to do overdrive at this point. Because I really need to get rid of that stun lancer and that sectoid. And sometimes you just don't know how it's going to work out. So, overdrive. And at that, when, you know, if you're playing, you might think, oh gosh, I made that mistake. I moved him and now I can't use the rocket launcher the way I wanted to. Maybe I should, you know, reload the turn. But I have found that sometimes it's best to just kind of soldier on, as it were. Because a lot of times there's other abilities that you can use that will make up for your mistake, you know. Now I know I can't shoot that rocket launcher over these tall things. So now I know. So.
Affirmative.
So that was kind of a waste. I had to move him there and move him back, but oh well. Okay. Oh, and there's a purifier. Okay, so we activated them so they can now see us. All right. So that purifier is now a serious problem. Let's scroll out here so that I can try and get as many of these people into this rocket launcher as possible. It's important to get it just right. This will take out the purifier. I mean well, it'll damage the sectoid and the stun lancer. And it'll probably kill them. At this point, I'm just trying to decide, is it better to take out the sectoid? Well, if I can get it over there. All right, never mind. Well, I can't really get it over there, so never mind. Okay. So, let's hit this. Hold on 1 second, please. Thank you. Got it. Okay, so so that took care of the stun lancer, and it took our sectoid down to 2 points. Now we have 3 other soldiers to respond with. We have Adeluna, who can do combat protocol or run and gun. Run and gun is a very powerful, fantastic ability. And we are going to use it in this case to take down possibly the sectoid or the mech. The purifier's possibility too. Let's click on run and gun. So run and gun basically allows you, it basically allows you 3 moves. You can move, then take run and gun. You can run and gun, then move twice, move 3 times, you know, that kind of thing, if you wanted to. So it basically allows you to take an action after dashing. So
Moving to fire position.
we're going to run and gun, and we are going to move to I'm concerned about moving her up here because it's easily flankable, and we've already learned from that. We have learned not to do that. I'm just trying to think out what I should do here. I think it's going to matter as to what Mox can do. Mox can justice here. He has 100% to justice the purifier. You do not want to justice a purifier. They explode from time to time. Or he's got an 80% to justice this Advent Trooper. Or he could give teamwork. I think what we're going to do is we're going to play it like this. We're going to bring Adeluna up here, but that means she's going to need some extra help.
Let's do this.
She's going to take out the sectoid. 79% chance, weapon range. That sectoid is dead. Now she is in a bad position. I'm going to now use Mox to throw down a smoke grenade to protect him, self, and maybe we can do Adeluna at the same time. We might be able to. Let's see. Come on. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to protect him and Adeluna, but I'd rather protect Adeluna. She's in worse possibility than he is.
Deploying screen.
Okay, so you can barely see it, but there is smoke here, and hopefully Adeluna has got some protection. Let's see here. I hope so. Now that leaves the final move up to Adana. Adana can do a slash. Moving into slash would be pretty much suicide unless she came up here to slash. Or we could move her here into the smoke and have her take down the... Yep, that's what we'll do. So she's going to move into the smoke, so you can now see why items can be very helpful in turning the tide of battle. And at this point, she's going to do a 91% chance on the mech. Woo, girl!
That's how it's done.
So that was a tough turn because a lot of unexpected things happened there. The purifier is going to... Oh! Sister, you are lucky! And you had to smoke to help you. Uh-oh. Here comes the mech. I feel like he's going to do bombs. Yep.
Brain damage detected.
Oh, he went for the spark. Mech on mech action. Advent Trooper, go for the spark. Go for the spark. Ooh, Adana.
Sacrifice.
Getting a little toasty here.
Oh, shit. Vivian! Vivian! No, no, no! So I made a bad move. I mean, I moved her into smoke. She had a little bit of cover, but he easily flanked her, and that was that. So she's not dead. She's not dead. But she is hurt pretty badly. However, we do have a medic on board, so we're going to stabilize immediately. So stabilize will stop her from bleeding out. She's now just unconscious, and we're going to revive her, I think, or heal her. Let's heal her. Nope, I lie. Let's revive her. And the reason why I'm choosing to revive is because we're near the end of the mission, and I feel like she'll be able to... There we go. So she is back up, and she's pissed. All right? She's pissed. Vivian is ticked. Vivian is really, really not happy. Vivian, after you. That's what happens when you shoot Vivian and she don't like it. Okay, so that means we are out of actions on two people here. We do have Mox, who's going to go, or we can have our Spark go toe-to-toe with this Matilda. Matilda is going to do... Let's do a strike here. We can do it on the Purifier, but I'd rather do it on the mech here. Because I just love mech on mech action. I love it. Pow!
Armor deflection observed.
So he's saying that, you know, this had armor and therefore he didn't get the full points. At this point, we're going to give teamwork to, let's see here. Let's give teamwork to Matilda. That's going to use up one of our points. That's a blue move. And Matilda is going to shoot this dude point blank in the face. You know, just 'cause. Look at that.
Target eliminated.
I love it.
Ammo nearing depletion.
She has this, like, male voice. That leaves Angie, who can take care of this purifier, possibly. We will be unable to get a flank. However, we can get eyes on him. And I want to move up here so that I can, you know, actually, if she misses. All right. I'm going to move her back here because I don't want to set her next to Vivian and make her enticing to... She's only got a 50% chance, but she has got to kill this guy because if she doesn't, Vivian is dead. Yes! Can I get an amen?
Wir sind die Besten.
Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status
That was
confirmed.
tough.
Mission accomplished.
That was tough. We got an excellent, but 2 soldiers were wounded, and one of them was our fantastic Spark, and the other is and the other was poor Vivian, who took a great deal of heat because I put her in a bad position. Let's randomize. Oh, I like that. Look at that. Amen. Okay, Benny. See you later. The Advent Wrecking Crew. Right here. Okay, so that's that. That's that mission complete. So are you feeling more confident to take on the game yourself? As you can see how it's beginning to work. And you can see also how to work things together.
20 years of peace and prosperity will not be undone by the reckless actions of a few misguided dissidents today. We stand with the elders. Trust in their wisdom, and we shall overcome this crisis.
Absolutely. Break time soon, silly girl. We'll take it right when we get back to the Avenger, because I gotta go tinkles. Because I'm drinking water. And I also have to get husband started on dinner, because I'm starving. We're having tuna tonight. You know, tuna steaks, like wild tuna. What is this? Oh, look at that, Matilda. Look at Matilda. She got 3 of these. Matilda's awesome.
To end the Elder's false vision. That is the purpose of all skirmishers. Until it is done, there can be no other path for us.
Hey, sister, you have a bond available. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. You have a bond here with Angie Lady. That's awesome. Sister, would you like to take this bond? I imagine you would. You and Angie Lady will go out and be the wrecking crew. Yep, we're having tuna and lots of veggies. Awesome. And let's definitely create a poster featuring this bond. Hate that background. Let's randomize. They're on fire. Oh, I love this. They're all out of bubblegum. Let's change his background. And then we will definitely keep this. 16 combined kills. You guys look so cool. Flames. Oh, that one. That's it. There's the play. I love it. They're all out of bubblegum. Yeah, we're having potatoes and tuna, which I have been sitting in a spice for a lot of the day, so it's got nice spice on it. And I might have to eat on stream because I'm starving. I haven't eaten much except broth today. Okay, so we now have Wrecking Ball, can break through walls and cover when moving, or we can do Intimidate. I'm actually going to do both of them because I want to show you some of the higher level abilities. And we'll do Covering Fire because what the heck. Just going to make everybody overpowered so I can show you everything. Or as much as we can see in this time. And then Field Medic. And Scanning Protocol is pretty cool. We'll go with Volatile. Actually, no, I don't want to go with that. I'll show you. I'll do this just for the sake of showing it to you. And then Vivian. Did you guys see how she swang that swang? Is that a that's a word? Swang. How she went with that sword, basically. So I'm gonna give her Blade Master and Phantom. All right. So we do have some wounded soldiers. Vivian's gonna be out for 22 days, so we probably won't see her again this evening. But she is a wonderful soldier, and I love her. We have an Illyrium core and some corpses here.
Hello, Commander.
We have 82 intel.
Commander,
Oh,
combat against the
no.
aliens day in and day out is no easy task.
Swang it, girl.
Eventually, the stress takes its toll in various ways. We'll need to keep an eye on each soldier to manage their traits.
That's funny. So, so this is something that can happen. It's new with War of the Chosen, in that you can obtain a negative trait. You can remove it, I believe, in either the infirmary or the training center, one of those two. Probably costs supplies or intel or something, I don't know. Anyway, it means, though, that she has a chance to hunker down, I believe it is, after every action. It's uncontrollable and, yeah, in a defensive posture, yeah. So poor Vivian has seen some stuff. She's seen some stuff, yeah. So let's go ahead and save here. Save 11. And when we come back, I'm going to put myself on screen. But also for those of you on YouTube, this will be the end of this episode. And I'll come back in the next episode and we will continue on. As I said, we're doing the Black Site. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. And the rest of you in chat, hang out because we're going to break. Anyway, thanks as always for watching.